Guys! 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 Alright, guys, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a girl who wished for a certain game. The certain game was only available for the PSP. Then that certain girl got a PSP, got the game, and then realized that she got the PSP from a different region, so she couldn't play the game on it. Fast forward to now, a year, 2 years later. Now the opening, the opening wasn't meant to play right there, but fast forward to now, Hakuouki. This is on a computer. I found a way finally to do this. And I'm sorry, I look like shit. I don't know why I decided to have face cam on, just to show my excitement. Because this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I love the anime. I've watched both seasons, not the third one, but both seasons of this story with it, and it is just pretty good. So here I am. Here I friggin' am. And we're gonna play Hakuouki, Demon of the Fleeting Blossom. I'm gonna move this. Oh, shut up! Yes. Shut up, cat. And, we're gonna play it, and I'm just so excited! Like, I could never, ever begin, you could never begin to comprehend how excited I am for this. So let's just go. Oh, let's move you down where? Here? Let's say. Alright, and I already decided I'm gonna call her Chizuru because that's what I've gone through the anime doing, so I cannot change her name now. Shut up, cat. And yeah, I'm just gonna call her Chizuru. That's what I'm gonna do. So sorry if this is bad quality, but that's how it's gonna be. It's PSP quality, so it's gonna go all big, and then it's gonna be real blah. So sorry about that. This is a work of fiction, but some elements draw inspiration from certain historical figures and events. I know! It's so exciting! Prologue. January 1864. So this is Kyoto. Wait, I need a good voice for her. She needs the voice of angels. The voice of angels. So this is Kyoto. It was awfully impressive, there was no denying it. Even the simple hellos between people passing in the street seemed warm and friendly. They nodded and smiled to one another almost as if they were family, not strangers about on a round. Still, there was something else as well. Something that made the city feel strangely cold. Almost as though there was a great invisible wall shutting out anyone who wandered in from the country. It wasn't particularly comfortable, I had to admit. No, that's only my head. I walked quite some distance to reach Kyoto, and it occurred to me that my mind and body were both very tired. Even so, tiredness was no reason for me to stand about feeling sorry for myself. I couldn't afford to, after all. Excuse me? With new, albeit forced resolve, I tried to stop a passerby. Sorry, but I seem to be a bit lost. Could you? What am I supposed to do now? I was lost again, but in a different sort of way. I sighed and found myself looking up at the darkening sky. The sun was beginning to set. The people I'd spoken to hadn't been unkind, and they'd given me the directions I'd needed, but couldn't he have chose a better time to leave the city? Apart from my father, there was an encyclopedia that there was one other person in the city I could rely on, Dr. Matsumoto. The great thing about this, if you don't know anything about this game, be prepared to be... Can you shut up, cat? Be prepared to be amazed, but if you don't know anything about it, then I hope you enjoy. I'm not gonna say anything, but it's like a history lesson that's fun. Basically, you learn about a lot about Japan's history and stuff like that in the Edo era. Isn't that what it's called? Can't remember. But yeah, apart from Dr. Matsumoto was a doctor. What is it, cat? Shut up! I'm playing a game I've been waiting freaking years to play. God. Alright, and then there's these small, I think, I don't know where to go to the... Okay, not that. That? No? No? Oh, no fast forward, thank you. Anyway, I can't go to the encyclopedia because I don't know shit about how these controls work, but there's this encyclopedia that you can use. Cat, stop it. That you can use to see if there's things you don't understand. But I'll try to comprehend it all. He was a doctor in service of the shogunate. I'd never met him myself, but my father put a great deal of trust in the man. He had told me that if I should run into any trouble during his absence, I was to contact Dr. Matsumoto. Unfortunately, Dr. Matsumoto was apparently out of town on business and would not return for some time. Was I too hasty? Perhaps I should have waited. True, it is rather rude to visit unannounced, which is why I had sent a letter ahead of me. Of course, if he'd been gone for very long, then he'd almost certainly not read my letter. Perhaps, I thought, I should have waited for a reply before traveling alone to a city I've never been to. But, no, I knew I could not have waited any longer. Chizuru. Is something wrong, Father? He paused for a moment and looked at me. Oh my god, there's voice acting on. Okay, I'm gonna have to take that off. I wonder how I do that. Give me a second. Alright, props to me because I managed to do it. Props to me because I managed to do it. I always managed to find the encyclopedia. Look at this. Let's see. And alright. There are all sorts of things. So under protagonist, then there's the protagonist, main character of the story. She travels to Kyoto. There's Koto and Yokota Yukimura. Those are the people. Great to know. And then and Rochi Matsumoto, protagonist, versus Michimoto Surigata, a military government that run by a samurai. In this game it refers to Tokugawa Shogunate. Great! Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, how do I go back? Oh, there's circle, and circle is S? No, this one? That one. Hey! Did it! I'm sorry for being a little slow, but it's hard. It's hard. I also managed to change the text speed so it's not totally annoying. So yeah, I managed to do a lot of things today. Right. It seems I must go to the city of Kyoto for a time. Work again? Is it just me, or does it seem a little dark? Oh, is that just the flashback way? Oh well. He had been leaving the house often then, sometimes for days at a time. How long will you be gone? I'm afraid I can't say. A month perhaps, maybe 2. Oh. There was no hiding my disappointment. Nonetheless, I wasn't a child anymore. I couldn't beg him not to go or some other foolishness. Yes, I'd be lonely, but I was much more worried for him. Please, Father, be careful. They say that the city of Kyoto is dangerous. He only smiled and nodded. You needn't fret. I will be sure to send you letters as often as I'm able, so that you will have no need to worry. Okay, you promise? Father kept his promise. A new letter arrived every day, and I scarcely had time to respond before another one would arrive. He told me that he worried about me, home, all by myself. Then the letter stopped. A whole month passed, with no word from my father, and I began to worry. I'm trying to copy Chisuru's voice that she uses in English, in the English dub, even though I prefer... Oh, stop that. Even though I prefer the Japanese version, but yeah. Father, they say Kyoto is full of running. It's not a safe place. What is running? Now we go to the trusty encyclopedia. Boom, 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 boom. And it's under here. Running, here we go. Samurai who has left their master or have been stripped of their privileges can also be used to refer to a samurai who does not have a master to serve. You see? So smart. Oh, there we go. It's not a safe place. Now we know why. We know what a running is. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited. Because all of this is just amazing. Usually a samurai is paid by their house, but... yeah, house, I get it. Running with no house to report to often rob people in order to make ends meet. They are nothing more than violent criminals who hide behind the image of samurai. Such is the state of the city Kyoto, the city of running. Small wonder, then, that I was worried for my father's safety. My mind would concoct horrible possibilities, and I inevitably found myself depressed and tense. First, I suppose I need to find a place to stay. Lost in thought, I hadn't noticed that night had already fallen. If I was honest with myself, I hadn't the first idea how long it might take to find my father. I'd taken some money with me, but it wasn't much. Enough to last me a month, I hoped, if I used it wisely. If I could not find father in that time, so much the better. If not, hopefully Dr. Matsumoto would return before my funds ran out. Should I be unable to find either of them, then it seemed I would be forced to return home. Well, at any rate, I should try to be as frugal as possible. And so I lengthened my stride and set off down the street. Fortunately for me, men's clothing was much more conducive to such a pace than my usual dress would have been. I decided early on that Kyoto was far too dangerous for a girl from the country to explore alone, and that it would be wise for me to dress like a man, or at least a boy. My disguise, such as it was, had proven successful, and I'd made it all the way to Kyoto unmolested. Yes! Perhaps that success had gone to my head and let me think a girl dressed as a boy could explore Kyoto as she pleased. But Kyoto is not a safe place. I should have remembered that. Instead, I had somehow convinced myself that whatever dangers in the city hit didn't apply to me. Hey kid, I was about to discover otherwise. Eh? I spun around. In the street in front of me were 3 men running. Can I help you? I did my best to keep my voice as calm as I reached in what I what I felt was a nonchalant way for my Kodachi. I think that's the recorder stopped. As I was explaining, it's a short sword thing. Yeah, it's like a shorter sword, and you usually accompany it by a katana. So now you know that. Oh shit! Crap. My father had made me take lessons in self-defense. I'd kept with them, and actually done rather well. My skills was enough to defend against most attacks. Then again, perhaps it was my confidence and skill that had put me in this situation in the first place. I'd messed up and let my guard down. My fault. There was a chance I could take them on and win, but there were 3 of them and 1 of me. Pretty nice blade you got there, kid. Only then did I realize that they were far more interested in my sword than they were in me. Looks like a bit much for a pup like this one, am I right? Give it here, okay? We'll use it to defend our country. But the sword wasn't just some blade I picked up. It's been passed down through my family for generations. There was no way I could give it to the Ronin. Unfortunately, I had the feeling they wouldn't understand. In such a situation, the best decision was undoubtedly, run, get the hell out of there. To retreat. And so I turned and ran as fast as my legs could carry me. Hey, get back here, you little bastard! Gosh, they sure don't give up easily, do they? I feel like I've been running for quite a while, but I could still hear the Ronin behind me cursing loudly. I ducked into an alley and flattened myself against the wall. After deciding they weren't too close, I crept farther into the alley. Someone had left a couple of sheets of wood leaning against one of the houses. It was a perfect spot to hide. With luck, I thought, as I knelt down to shuffle under them, this will get me out of this mess. Huh? Something was wrong. I'd expected to hear the Ronin yelling at each other looking for me, but seconds turned into minutes and I heard nothing. I was about to sneak out and have a look when... I'm sorry. Screaming. This is serious, I'm sorry. They began to scream. What? My plan to investigate was immediately halted. Remaining silent and hidden was clearly more important. Still. Damn you! What is this? Why won't you die? Damn it, we gotta get out of here! It was then that true fear began to set in. There was something out there. Something very, very dangerous. Something quite possibly lethal. And the possibilities were, well, my imaginations conjured up no shortage of gruesome theories. Even so, I could feel that itch of curiosity. I wanted to know what was out there. Slowly, carefully, I edged up to the corner and looked out. Cold moonlight glared back at me from the bare blade of a giant sword. My eyes followed the blade up to the arm that held it, clad in a coat of light blue. Had this person saved me? But no sooner than it appeared, the hope was dashed. Help! I could hear the Ronin beg for his life as he stumbled back. The person in blue coat said nothing, just stepped forward, his sword raised. A high screeching laugh cut through the man's scream. The blade fell through the air, more like a butcher's cleaver than a sword. No technique, no skill, just death. The scream turned suddenly wet, caught, and disappeared like air leaving a half-empty bellows. My eyes went wide. I just watched the murder. Whatever strength adrenaline had given me was suddenly gone. My legs gave away and I crumpled to the ground. My eyes had gone wide, so wide I thought they might never close. The Ronin had died with the first blow, but as I watched, the blades kept falling, carving deep lines into the corpse. The soft slip of the blade through flesh, the crack as it struck bone, the silent creep of blood across the ground. I felt nothing from them but madness. Their only desire was raw animal violence, whatever they were. It wasn't human. They were broken. I could feel my throat closing up. I couldn't breathe. A warm, dark smell brushed against my face. It took me a moment to recognize the coppery tang of blood. An icy bolt of fear ran down my spine, crawling its way out into my limbs and freezing me in place. I was terrified. What was I going to do? What could I do? You have to run, Chizuru. I forced my jaw open and drew a ragged breath. This was the only chance I'd get. I had to. But my body, still numb with fear, was less responsive. I lurched sideways into the wood stacked against the building. With a rough clatter, it collapsed. The creatures turned their blue coats drenched in blood. Hideous grins split in their inhuman faces, and they shook with animal excitement at finding fresh prey to slaughter. I had to run. I couldn't die yet, but my legs refused to move. Come on, girl! That hideous cackling laughter began again. I was going to die. My body was frozen with terror. I couldn't even scream. This was it. This was the end. I watched them raise their bloody swords, the moon glinting off the metal. Then there was a flash of light, and the soft splash of blood. I could feel it, warm and sticky. Bile began to race in my throat, but before disgust took hold, I heard a voice. Really? The words suggested disappointment, but the voice sounded happy. I'm gonna have to move this little thing down so you can see this lovely guy as well. You know, I'll move it up here. Oh shit, stop that. There you go. And here I was planning to take care of them all on my own. Couldn't you have picked another day to work so fast, Saito? As he spoke, the strange man smiled, almost as if he was enjoying himself. I only did my job. Unlike you, I take no pleasure in battle. Well, that's not a very nice thing to say. He laughed. You don't even bother to deny it. The man called Saito sighed with the air of a long-suffering companion and looked over at me. Oh my god, where can I put this box? Like that? I don't know, I guess. Maybe if you just sat back and let me kill her, you could have saved us some trouble. His tone was light, but his words confirmed my fears. I had left the frying pan, yes, but now I was in the fire. Perhaps that decision is not ours to make. Huh? Then there was someone in charge of these two? Their conversation seemed to suggest that they were part of an organization of some sort. As I thought about it, I remembered hearing a story of a group of men with blue coats. My thoughts were interrupted by a dark shape sliding into view. Oh my god, why is this box so annoying? Oh, I swallowed hard. The moonlight shone on his smooth dark hair. For reasons I couldn't fathom, in that moment, the light on his hair made me think of fluttery flower petals, almost as if the cherry trees were blooming out of season. Luck is not your friend tonight. His voice was cold and quiet, like a blade of ice. Blue-white moonlight lit his slender face and shone from the blade he held pointed at my chest. But it wasn't the sword that made my breath catch in my throat. It was his eyes. They were fierce and hard, but somewhere behind them I could catch a glimpse of something else. There could be no doubt that he was prepared to kill me, and yet he looked troubled. Not kindness, but perhaps mercy. Run, and I will kill you, do you understand? I nodded. There was no doubt he meant every word he said. He stared at me for a moment, then grimaced with a sigh, and with a sigh put his sword away. Wait, we're taking this up. Again? What? I was too surprised to stop myself from speaking, and it quickly became apparent that I wasn't the only one. What? Wait, Hichikata, are you sure about this? This kid saw, well, everything. That can't be good. Oh my god, there's nowhere to put this fucking thing. I'm sorry. Like that. Maybe I'm just gonna let it stay here. As he spoke to the man he'd called Hichikata, his eyes narrowed. The man called Hichikata frowned back at him. Shut up. If you keep that up, you know what we're going to have to do. I wasn't sure what they meant, but it was clear enough that what I'd seen was something they wanted to keep hidden. Still, the more they said, the more I understood, despite the fact that none of us wanted such a thing. Really? Think it's gonna come back to bite us? I really think it's gonna come back to bite us in the ass if we let this kid go. The way he looked at me made me feel as if he'd read my mind. Perhaps it would be best if I didn't think too hard about things I wasn't supposed to think about. So, we should just kill people so they don't bother us later. No, I'll decide what we're going to do with this kid when we get back. I agree with the commander. If we remain here, we are likely to be seen again. The man they called Saito spoke with a quiet confidence. He glanced around, possibly looking for other witnesses. Then he looked down at the creature he'd killed, almost as if he'd forgotten the whole ordeal. If they have this sort of reaction to blood, then they don't seem like they'll be very practical. Damn, didn't think they'd gotten this bad. He peered down at the corpse, his face an emotionless mask. When he looked back up at his companions, however, his eyes were narrowed. As for you two, drop the Hichikata and Commander stuff. He was supposed to be keeping low profile. What? Come on, you can't be serious. You don't think Blue's a little bit of a giveaway already? I can't talk, I'm sorry. He was right. Even I had heard the stories about a gang of cruel men in blue coats who cut people down in the streets. But no, don't think. Ignore them. I did my best to be stern with myself, but it came out sounding more pleading than commanding. My mind swirled with thoughts and worries. I was being drawn into their world. A world that was, where there was nothing strange in carrying on a normal conversation in the dead of night with corpses for company. What shall we do with the bodies then? There don't seem to be any physical signs, but Hichikata thought for a moment before he spoke. Just take their blows. Yamazaki can deal with the rest. As you wish. Another man cut down in the street, huh? Doing a great job, aren't we? He gave a derisive bark of laughter. So as long as we keep our mouths shut, I don't think anyone will connect us with this. He looked directly at me when he spoke, and I got the distinct feeling that his words weren't for his companions. Do you think so? Really? It was common for people to be murdered in Kyoto. It was a dangerous city after all. I knew that, of course. But to see it happen, that was something else entirely. If death was such an easy thing in Kyoto, I thought, then the city itself must surely be mad. Oh, yes, we did save you, didn't we? Aren't you going to thank us? Huh? I didn't realize immediately that he was speaking to me. When I did, my eyes went wide. What do you mean you saved me? Well, he did have a point. Despite their threats, they had saved my life. I stood up as steadily as I could manage, brushed some of the dirt off my clothes and bowed. Thank you very much. I apologize for not thanking earlier. There was so much going on. I was a little confused. I glanced up at them tentatively. The man called Saito was spewing some confusion of his own. His eyes were wide, and he had an expression I couldn't place. Hichikata looked like he'd taken a bite of something sour. I know it seems weird to say that, but he told me I should say thanks, so I... Alright, I'm gonna end the episode here. We'll see you in the next one. This is exciting as